To-do lists don't work. They simply don't. And the sooner we come to terms with that, the sooner we can get to actually getting things done. This one piece of research that was conducted by the founders of the I Done This app, which is essentially an app that you write down the tasks that you want to do, and by the end of the day, you check them all off. Essentially, a to-do list app. They noticed something odd, that altogether, over 41% of tasks never got checked off. That's insane. So they tried to get to the bottom of it and came to the realization that the concept of a to-do list itself does not help you get things done. So why is that? Well, the American Psychological Association says that this has to do with something called the paradox of choice. In a study by the APA, they found that if humans are given more than 7 choices, then they become overwhelmed and they are unable to make a decision as to, in this case, what to start with. Think of Netflix, for example, and the plethora of choice, or going to a restaurant that has a never-ending menu. You just can't focus on what's available. Our minds just can't process that much option. The next reason is that when we are given a list of things to do, we as humans will look for the easiest tasks to do and check them off really quickly and leave the harder ones for later. We are hardwired for procrastination. Additionally, one of the reasons that to-do lists don't really work is because to-do lists don't have priority built into the concept. So that lets you just choose the really super easy ones and then leave the harder things just as like this thing that collects anxiety around it from not being able to get it done because it's just so big and daunting. And on top of that, to-do lists don't have built-in priorities. So you're unable to choose which is something that is more important than less important, and it's more focused on like the bulk completion of things. Again, that leads us to maybe not working on what is the best for us at that time. That leads us to the question, what do you do instead? Well, the Harvard Business Review recommends taking those to-do lists and putting them into your calendar. So you take your to-dos, you find a time, and insert that into a slot of time when you are going to complete that said task. Now, this exercise has a few reasons why this is more productive than a simple to-do list. First of all, it forces you to take a look at your tasks, and by assigning them a time, you assign priority. What is most important? What do you need to get done first? Once you have that in place, then you don't have any other choices available. You just have to do that one thing that you have assigned to yourself for that specific time. And one of the major bonuses is that it helps you realize possibly that there physically isn't enough time for you to get all of your to-dos done. So yeah, to-do lists don't work, but you know what does? Being educated and subscribing to this channel. So do that. Some super important tips for how to get this done is making sure that you also leave time for the everyday menial stuff like processing emails, and also, hot tip, leave 2 hours of just blank time, and that can serve as a buffer between different tasks and also gives you room for the spillover tasks that inevitably will come up when something takes longer than you thought it might. And then you've got yourself a calendar and you've got your processes and you go through it and you just do what you're being told to at that given time. Simple, right? Well, you might be thinking, this sounds a whole lot like time blocking. Well, that's because it is. And if you are interested in learning more about time blocking, we can put you towards our video and we will have it linked in the description below. So that is why to-do lists don't work and what to do instead. If you would like more of these videos, make sure to subscribe and we will see you in the next video. Bye.